What's up, y'all? What up? What up? All right, man. Let's get started, man. What's up, man? Tay from Let's Keep It Honorable TV. What up? We'll talk about some things real quick, man. Talk about a few situations. The ball. This guy. This guy went off, didn't he? yo, yo, didn't he go off? I mean, didn't this ball go off in his joint, man? Real rap. Talk of the internet right now. You know what I'm saying? Is yeah. Is Pat this 50 situation. You know what I'm saying? You got Mano. You got Mano new diss track. You know what I'm saying? What's it called? Bleed just like us. You got some diss tracks going on right now. Like, yeah, man. Now you notice these diss tracks sound a little better than the battle rap diss tracks that been coming out and all that. Like, you know what I mean? But yeah, man, Papoose, he done, people saying he killed 50 with this joint. I personally feel like Mano joint, I feel like Mano joint holds some weight too. I gotta give it to Mano, like, you know what I'm saying? If you know, you know. Mano been respected as an MC, like, people respected him as a rapper, right? But from the DVD era and all that, you looked at Mano like he was a street nigga for real. You looked at him like a street nigga before anything, you know what I'm saying? And he had that look, the scar on his face and all that, so he really um, had that look. He had a couple songs, High Hater and all that. But if you think about it, them Jones ain't, you know, them tracks wasn't the most lyrical type songs and all that. You feel me? So, yeah, I mean, so that's why this John bleed just like us. Mano diss track to 50 Cent. That John was art. Yeah, that John was fire. Like, I ain't gonna lie. I watched it. I seen a couple. I seen a couple comments and all that on different platforms, and it looked like, for the most part, it looked like, yeah, everybody rocking with it. Everybody rocking with it. Now, Mano John clearly getting the most attention. I mean, Papoose John getting the most attention and all that. I wouldn't necessarily say his name bigger than Mano's, just because Mano been outside consistently. He been, um, he been active and all that. But people know that Papoose a little more lyrical than Mano and all that. So his joint stood out because he put it together a little better. But one thing I give Mano, his joint sound like a diss track. You know what I'm saying? Like literally sound like it. You know what I mean? So yeah, I give him that. I give him that, man. It was crazy. I was like, all right, cool. You know what I'm saying? What y'all think though, man? Get in the comment section, man. Comment on this joint, hit the like button and all that. Comment on this joint, tell me what y'all think, man. I wanted to go live earlier about this, man. Like I was tired, so I'm like, I'm gonna do a late jump and and discuss some of this, man. Yeah. So we gonna get into some of the facts, some of the shots that was taken on this joint on these diss tracks. We gonna talk about Sheik Luch and Redman new John. They got a new track that just came out. It's fire. Y'all definitely gotta hear that joint. Yeah, man. So come on in here, enjoy this show, man. We gonna chop it up about a few things and all that. Man, they tried to make it seem like, man, they tried to make it seem like, that Pap dissed Eazy and all that. Personally, I don't feel like. I don't necessarily feel like it was a diss. It definitely was a little shot. He definitely took a little shot, a little jab at him, but it ain't nothing we ain't been hearing. You know what I'm saying? So I thought it was about to be like, you know what I'm saying? I thought he was about to like have a couple bars for him, and it's clear that he's talking about Easy, but he wasn't. You know what I mean? He wasn't clear. All he said was, if you disrespect me, I'll knock you out or something like that. Or, you know what I mean? I got a couple notes here, man, so, I'm going to get into it. Man. 50 he got to fight back, man. 50 got to fight back. That joint with him, listen, that joint with 50 and Max B, it's alright. It's alright, right? But that joint don't give you this track. It don't give you this track. Like when you hear him and Max on that joint, it don't give off like. And they did the AI video and all that. You know what I mean? So look, what y'all think, man? Do y'all think it would have hit different if 50 and Max would have linked up in person? You know, all through Times Square and made back like this little AI video that they put together. If they would have really did that, got next to each other and did that, it would have hit a little different rather than them using some editor to use some AI, um, you know, software, some AI software to make them look like they together and they in the wheel and they sliding through and wow. Mm, yeah, man. So that's why Mano and Papoose diss tracks hit a little harder. They hit harder than this joint with him and Max. And if you listen to this right, if you listen to the joint, if you heard the joint with him and Max, 50 Cent and Max B, if you heard that joint, then you know like it don't give you diss track type of feel. It don't give you that type of feel. Like, mm, but that joint called No More Tricks, No More Lies or something like that. If you ain't hear that joint, go listen to that joint and you know what I mean, yeah, man. Red Man and Sheik Luch. Red Man and Sheik Luch, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna talk about that too. They got some, you know what I mean? I literally just got done listening to this joint. This was fire. This was fire. Not to bounce around, not to bounce around, but like I said, we gonna get into a few topics and all that. But this joint was alright right here, right? You just gotta be a real hip hop type person, like you know what I'm saying? You gotta be a real hip hop type, you dig me? Yeah, I don't know what, you know what I mean? But I was just shocked to see them two featured because it was just not a feature that you would expect to see, like, right? Like when I seen Redman, I thought, all right, Redman got some a new John. and I'm thinking it's gonna be him by himself. But when I see Sheik Luch, I'm like, all right, that's a different kind of feature. That's a feature that you wouldn't expect to necessarily see. But they kind of from the same era, so they just two different type artists. So you know what I mean. But Sheik held his own. Redman did what he usually do. You know what I mean? So it was fire and all that. But yeah, they got these free Geechee Gotti shirts going around. They got a website where you could grab them Jones and all that. What y'all think about that, man? What y'all think about that? I did lives, I did shorts about this situation with Main Man and all that, and a lot of people had different opinions on the situation. But how y'all feel? Um, like I said, if you go to the short section on this channel, you gonna hear a phone call from when Geechee finally called home to talk to the fans, the people, let them know what how he was holding it down and all that. He said everything was going according to plan and words like that. Um, is these shirts to collect a bag for his case, or just to collect a bag in general while he's sitting, so that he got some paper coming in? Cause ain't nothing wrong with that either. But yeah, that GoFundMe and then these shirts is like he might be alright. He might be more alright than y'all think. So all these donations, that's for the people that is donating to that situation. You know, that might just be a little extra little bag for him to sit comfortable up under and all that. But yeah, man. All right, so we finally about to get into this Papoose diss track and everything that he every not everything, but we're gonna talk about a lot of the shots that he sent towards 50. Like, you know what I'm saying. So that freestyle that he dropped the other day, that little 1 minute little snippet or clip or whatever that everybody was going crazy about, right? That joint was cool, but it was light, right? And I was wondering to myself, like, what made him drop that little 1 minute little, you know what I mean? Because, yeah, all right, it let people know that he's dissing 50, but what he said in that 1 minute was light. And I was curious to, like, why he leave it like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, why he leave it like that? That was kind of light. Then he dropped this joint, so now it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? One thing about Main Man, they both. So listen, one thing about these 50 and this boy, they both kind of strategic with how they move. Like it's like chess, right? 50 make his moves, Pap sat back, and then he chose the right time to make his move. You know what I'm saying? It's just it's like chess, man. It's chess, not checkers. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so Papoose 50 disc, man. It's called Agent Provocateur. You know, people banging with it. You know, they talking about it and all that. So I'm gonna talk about it. You know what I mean? So listen, man. Everything that I tell y'all about this diss track, as far as what Pap said about 50, and all this is allegedly, right? We don't know none of this to be facts or nothing. So everything is alleged. We gonna get into some of this. So allegedly, the bull got, you know what I mean, the bumpity bump, you know, the NBA young boy situation, the you know, the Bumpy Johnson situation, like, you know what I'm saying? Allegedly. You know what I'm saying? Allegedly, you know what I mean? Papu saying, you got the Bumpy Johnson, but you lying about it and just mm, come out and say you Bumpy Johnson and stop lying and stop hitting on these Jones and burning cribs down and all that. Even though that was old. That was old. We all know that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, he said 50 got the allegedly got the Bumpy Johnson, the Usher, allegedly. You know what I'm saying? He said somebody named what did he say? Somebody named Bruno Carabello took his chain. You know what I'm saying? And instead of retaliating on some street type time, the boy ended up with a case. Yeah. Black Child, the producer that produced a lot of Brandy stuff back then. You know, you might have heard that Black. Well, no, Black Child. No, I'm tripping. I'm tripping. I'm tripping. Let me take that back. Black Child, I think, is from 50 neighborhood. Matter of fact, I think he's somebody from Queens. Matter of fact, Dark Child is the producer person I was thinking of. My bad. But allegedly, somebody named Black Child poked him up, and it must not have been no retaliation. He must not have carried it, or you know what I'm saying. He also pointed out the fact that he be taking shots at Lloyd Banks a lot, right? I don't know what made Pap get into the Lloyd Banks aspect of this diss track, but he basically said, you know, why you always dissing Banks? Is it because he was better than you and all that, or is you just a hater? You know what I mean? Everybody know that you know Banks was one of the hottest in G Unit, if not the hottest. I mean, I think the same thing for real. You know what I'm saying? If I had to say who was the hottest in G Unit, I definitely would say Lloyd Banks. Then I would say Young Buck. Then I would say 50. You know what I'm saying? That's just my personal opinion, but he had something to say about that. He basically said, you know, you from Queens, but you got people from the Bronx protecting you. I don't know what he meant by that because from what I saw over the years, he had you know people from Queens around him and all that. He got people in his entourage that was from different places, like Mike Knox. You know, Mike Knox from Philly, so that's one person that he had in his entourage that wasn't from Queens or from his neighborhood or you know what I'm saying. But who else? The boy Jaffe Top Tiger, the boy. Yeah, so I don't know who he was talking about. I don't know who Pat was talking about. 50 Entourage probably definitely switched up over the years, but for the most part, it looked like he ran around with people from Queens. You know what I'm saying? Uncle Murder you know, part of the squad or whatever. He from Brooklyn and all that. Or is he from Brooklyn? I don't know New York like that, so it's. But I remember them Uncle Murder mixtapes back then. He always say East New York. So is East New York Brooklyn? Is Brooklyn considered East New York? Wherever East New York is, you know what I'm saying? It ain't Queens, so you cause Uncle Murder ain't from Queens, so you know that. So I don't know what he meant by saying like you pay. He said the 50 that you pay niggas from the Bronx to hold you down. I don't. You know what I'm saying? He said something about Floyd punching on him. Yeah. Pat was saying some things. I don't like. I don't know. You know. I don't know how the industry work. I don't know if everybody heard all the rumors or and that joint trickled down over the years about how 50 and Floyd fell out because they definitely was close. You know, 50 was talking. You know, 50 was talking like that was Floyd manager back then. That's when 50 used to be walking around with the money team merchandise on and all that. And you know what I mean. But yeah, Pat was talking to him. I ain't going. You know, I ain't gonna be a hater or a fraud just because you know the situation with him and the bull and all that. You know what I'm saying? we talking hip hop, so I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it real. You know what I'm saying? All right. What else he say? So he basically said 50 whole claim to fame. What made him famous wasn't who he is, or you know, it was the story that he sold to the world, to the fans, right? Basically, how you know the getting shot 9 times situation is what people feel like um, made people drawn to 50 and his story and his music and all that. Because it was like, all right, if he got shot 9 times, then he was really living that. And people, I know I come from that era where, you know, the artists that lived what they rapped about was definitely more respected, taken serious. The music resonated better because you knew it was real. And you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. He said basically, you got famous because you got shot 9 times, and you really didn't get shot 9 times. You got shot 5 times, but you said it was 9 because you wanted to say that you got shot more than Pop. Now, I don't know if this came from some type of interview 50 did over the years, because you got to think about it, right? All these artists got interviews that's, you know, from the 90s, from the early 2000s that some people still probably remember, right? So at some point, 50 might have said that, like, yeah, I looked up the pot, so I wanted to, I just said it was 9 times or whatever, so I, you know what I mean, for the wow factor and all that. But now, if he did, that's weird, but it worked. You know what I'm saying? It worked. He wouldn't be where he at today if he didn't. So, all right, to exaggerate how many times you got popped or whatever, that's definitely nutty, but it worked. Um, what else he say? Um, oh, he said Queens. Now he said Queens as a whole don't respect 50 Cent. Right now, I don't know how true that is, and that's because you've never, from what I remember and my understanding, you never heard nobody from Queens come out and say, "Oh, 50 wasn't like this, 50 wasn't like that." What I do remember is when the movie Get Rich or Die Trying came out, there was people coming out and saying how, yeah, that is kind of his story. Exactly the movie. I remember there was people. I remember who they was or what their titles was, but I just remember around the time that movie was out, there was people that was like, yeah, it his life was literally like the movie, almost to a T. You know what I'm saying? So that was interesting. You feel me? That's what I'm saying. Like that's what I'm saying. Like I like the lyrical sparring that's going on, right? But you gotta give it to 50 when it comes to certain things, right? Now, you know how all the rappers when they dissing him, they talk about the cop stuff with him and all that. That's definitely is definitely some truth to that. We not gonna sit here and fraud and act like 50 don't be on some federal type time. Like, yeah, yeah. And Nori from Queens, you know what I'm saying? Nori a Queens nigga, and you know what I mean? You see how Nori always carried it with him, his entourage, and you know, Nori always seemed like, a street nigga, you feel me, and rapper just like 50. But I don't see Nori doing a documentary on a nigga and act like he's celebrating that a nigga just got snatched by the feds and all that. And, just celebrating somebody being locked up at all ain't something that a street nigga would do. You know what I'm saying? So 50 definitely be, yeah, he be on some nut shit. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. When it come to that, and that's what be confusing me about 50. Like it be like, damn, bro, you know what I mean? I thought you was a street nigga, but you clearly can't be. You can't be. Like ain't no way because the stuff that he be doing, right? That was like, yo, he did a whole investigation like a cop. Diddy got booked, wasn't even sentenced yet, and next thing you know, he got a documentary coming out trying to make it worse for him. You trying to literally help put him in jail, keep him in jail. Like that's basically what you did by doing that documentary. So myself included, I ain't respect it. I was kind of confused. Like I was like, yo, 50 different. I definitely looked at it like that. Like yo, 50 different. Like yo, like what? Like for real. Now we gonna get into the Max B situation, right? I bang with Max B. I bang with the old Max B, like the old music. And I ain't gonna lie, I bang with the joint him and French just the joint him and French Montana just did. I bang with that whole project a little bit, right? It was alright, it was a good joint. You know what I'm saying? But it's allegations against Max right now. And since he came home, that ain't really been answered to in a way that satisfied the streets, but it seemed like nobody really talking about it, right? So for 50 to hop on a track with him and be dissing niggas, like if that turned out to be true, if it turned out to be true, that's gonna be crazy, right? Because we also know before 6ix9ine did what he did and sold on all them New York niggas, right? 50 was what? 50 was 50 was listen. 50 was co-signing 6ix9ine. I don't know if y'all remember that. That's what I'm saying. Not saying Max be 6ix9ine, but he got allegations against him of doing what 6ix9ine did. It's it's a little bit of audio, it's a little fuzzy and all that, but this wasn't no AI. You know what I'm saying? The John Gina Conway that went on Vlad TV and was talking about like, yeah, I was on a run. He told them where they could find me and all that. You know what I'm saying? The boy Pooh Sims that's supposed to be his stepbrother or something like that, that's locked up, that been saying from the jails that yeah, he told on me and all that. Those allegations ain't really been rectified. Like Shorty said that on Vlad TV. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that automatically makes it true, but this a female we talking about was bold enough to go on Vlad and say, yeah, this boy, they said this boy told them where I was hiding at. Type of time is that? You know what I mean? Like what type of time is that, man? Like this be my face right here, man. The Bodie from the Wire and all that. This be my face when I be scrolling, seeing some of this stuff, man. You know what I mean? Be like, dang. Cause yeah, when Max came home, it was free Max and all that. But some of that stuff gotta be answered. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, this been my face lately, man. When I scroll through some of this stuff on the internet, man. Mano deserves some more credit for this joint. If y'all ain't hear this, go listen to this. Go listen to this. I like the beat. The beat is alright. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause people been lacking. People been lacking on. But yeah, go listen to it. We gonna get into what Mano said and and all that. Yeah, man. We gonna keep breaking down this Papoose diss track, man. He basically called 50 Bumpy Johnson, man. Y'all think there's some truth to that? Y'all think there's some truth to that? Cause didn't when the Diddy trial was going on, didn't one of them sex worker boys say that Daphne Joy gave him something and one of the little freak offs and all that? And now he's saying 50 Bumpy Johnson and all that. she got she got it from 50 and took it to the freak off. But yeah, what y'all think, man? Leave a comment on this joint, man. But yeah, he got the best diss track out right now. Like from battle rappers to regular rappers, like this. You know what I'm saying? And y'all see the joint Clarissa, she hyping him all up. Like, you know what I mean? So you know 50 gonna mention her when he respond. Y'all think 50 gonna grind Clarissa Shields up when he respond to if he respond? What y'all think? What y'all think? Dog over there fucking on up. Listen to this main old John, man. Get in the comment section, man. Tell me if y'all paying attention to everything, man. Who heard the Red Man and Sheik Loose John? Dynamite. They both killed that John though. That John 3 minutes, 3 minutes and 14 seconds long, man. Sheik Luch, Red Man, like, yeah, I mean, I'm bouncing back and forth, but it's all good. Just try to stay with me and all that. So, Red Man, Sheik Luch dropped a joint called Dynamite. That joint 3 minutes 14 seconds long. They both killed that joint. You know what I'm saying? If you a hip hop fan, you appreciate Red Man contributions and you appreciate Sheik Luch's contributions. You know what I'm saying? But Sheik, what impressed me about Sheik, right, is the fact that Kiss ain't on this joint, Styles ain't on this joint. Now we all know Sheik done dropped his own separate projects and had some success, right, with it, right? He's had some success with it and shit like that. But to hear him without Styles, without Kiss, and just on the track with somebody like Redman, because Redman a creative artist. Like he could have went anywhere. Like Redman could have went any direction with this feature, right? But Sheik, the type of artist, he a veteran. He stayed with him on his joint. He stayed with him on his joint. And I ain't gonna lie, if you hear it, it's some people that's gonna feel like, yeah, it's some people that's gonna feel like Sheik versus. I'm not gonna say Sheik versus better, but energy wise, Sheik was. It seemed like Sheik was just killing that joint. Like I ain't gonna lie. Like I'm gonna play that joint back when I get off of here. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna listen to the Pap joint again when I get off of here. I'm pretty sure I ain't missed nothing though. You know what I'm saying? He was just, yeah, talking to him crazy. Talking to him crazy. You know what I'm saying? He already talked about the whole Baby Mom Diddy situation. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah. Said 50 got diabetes. Now this is another thing, right? Saying he got diabetes, shots like that is kind of corny. Like when you take shots at somebody's health, right? Because anybody's health could decline. You never know. You know what I'm saying? It's life. You feel me? That was kind of corny. You know what I'm saying? To you know to make a bar about you know yeah, that was weird. That was kind of weird. I ain't gonna lie. Because karma could come to you from that when you making fun of somebody's health conditions, something that's natural. You feel me? It's now the whole Bumpy Johnson situation, because he said that 50 allegedly got herpes and all that, and how he should just come out with it like NBA young boy and all that. I guess he allegedly came out and confirmed his situation. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, Pap got the belt right now, man. Him and Clarissa, they got the belts right now. You know what I'm saying? Real rap. But we gonna get into Mano. So Mano, the shots, we already talked about the shots that Pap took at 50. Specific things about somebody named Bruno Carabello allegedly taking a chain from him, and 50 basically allegedly getting that man a case over the situation. Like I said, He pointed out 50 having diabetes, which I don't understand that John. That was kind of corny. He said black child allegedly poked you up. You know why you be dissing Banks like a hater. Tell him how Floyd punched on you before. You got you got Bronx niggas around you protecting you. Queens don't respect you. When you say get the strap, you must be talking about a strap on allegedly. Based off that picture that was circulating, I ain't putting that joint on here. But if y'all seen that picture circulating where 50 sitting in front of a, you know what I mean, and all that, you know what I mean, the joint on the table and all that. If y'all know what I'm talking about, then you know what I mean, then y'all know what I'm talking about. But when 50 and Pat was first going back and forth and all that, when he was posting the pictures of Clarissa and all that, a picture started circulating of 50 Cent inside of like it wasn't a Breakfast Club, but it was like a setting like that, like a radio station setting. He's sitting in front of a microphone like he being interviewed, and it's definitely something crazy sitting on the table in front of him and all that. And it was blurred out and all that, but you knew what it was. And 50 definitely had a smile on his face, like so. If that wasn't AI or created, then I mean, he don't gotta explain it, but it definitely looked crazy. So like, yeah, I mean, what else he say, man? He said when 50 say get the strap, he mean a strap on. He's yo, it's crazy. Now, when people felt like he was dissing Eazy, it's people that felt like he dissed Eazy. They start putting it on Twitter like, oh, he dissed 50 Cent and take a shot at Eazy the Black Cat. Yo, so like I said, I listened to the whole drum before I hopped on here. I listened to Maino John. I listened to the Red Man and Sheep song. Only shot that he took that could have been at this ball would have been a nigga disrespect Papoose, I knock him out. A nigga disrespect 50 Cent, a dot come out. That was that was light. I mean, everybody know what happened, so it was like, yeah, that was a little jab, but the boy don't care clearly. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know how much I don't know how much of a jab that was, or you know what I'm saying. But yeah, what y'all think? Y'all feel like was that a was that a ooh type moment? Was that a you know what I'm saying? Him saying a nigga disrespect me, I knock him out like that. I guess if y'all take that as like a super shot at this ball, so be it. You know what I mean? I felt like it was like, I mean, it's true though. Clearly, you know what I'm saying. So it's like when you carried the situation, you carried it like you should have. You could talk your talk. You could talk. You know what I'm saying? Because you know it's been proven on how you handle situations. So of course he gonna be cocky. Of course he gonna talk his talk. You know what I'm saying? It ain't been no pressure put on over there to you know what I'm saying. Like yeah, because that's what type time I was on. But for me and Bull fell out and all that, and that situation happened, and I seen what I saw when I was on that type of time. Like, what's up with him? Like, tell the John, make the John. You mean make the you know what I mean? Listen, man, y'all could put two and two together on what type time I was on. He was on some different type time because Buddy was in his ear asking him to do this and do that and keep this and hush that and all that. But I was on that type time, like you know what I'm saying. Like I was trying to match niggas' energy, like and all that. But now I'm just out of things. I'm out of things, man. I just be sitting back watching, like man, like hey, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that wasn't a really a shot at Easy, man. Like, he definitely used him as an example in there. So by saying if a nigga disrespect me, I knock him out. Okay, he referenced him. He was referencing. He referenced Easy to 50. Like, all right, You see what I do in real life. Like when I run into you, I'ma try to, you know what I mean? And he feeling cocky. Like he like, man, I was putting niggas down before I had a boxing joint. Now I got a boxing joint. I'm holding the mitts for her and all that. Like I'm training with her when she train. Still sharp and still. Yeah, I mean, she done sharpened his hands up. I mean, that wouldn't matter to me. But, you know, that boy ran into him and they crashed and all that. So he know what it he mean. He probably respect bull power enough to, you know what I'm saying, to not want no type of issues and just like I'm gonna leave it alone. You know what I'm saying? Because even though Shorty said, "Oh, can you please handle it like this, handle it like that," right? Enough time passed to where it's like Shorty. First of all, I wouldn't even agree to that. But if yeah, I can't even say if I did because I wouldn't agree to none of that. But let's just say hypothetically that I did play along. Like, yeah, I ain't gonna say nothing. I'm gonna deny it. I'm gonna all that. Man, enough time passed to where Shorty, I gave you what you wanted. I'm handling business, like you know what I'm saying. So like, I don't even want to be mean saying all this from the internet too crazy, but y'all get my point, man. You know what I'm saying? But he gave a nigga the leeway to be able to flex like and just mention anything that people could think that he's referring to this boy anytime he want because yeah, he feel like what? Ain't nobody gonna do nothing. Ain't nobody gonna say nothing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah, man. If it's anybody, them security guards need to go holler and tighten up. It's the boy right here. You know what I'm saying? It's me, man. If it, you know what I'm saying? Not a blogger, not a YouTuber and all that. And this ain't even no shot. That's just real shit. Like, if you know what I mean? If I got security detail and they acting like goons, like he say they on that type time, they with whatever, they with it. Find the boy. You know what I'm saying? Even if y'all don't tighten him up, just find him and bring him to me, man. Something got to, you know what I mean? But yeah, what y'all think, man? Get in the comment section, man. If y'all ain't subscribed to the channel, subscribe, man. We get on here and we talk about some topics sometimes that we, you know what I mean? Before I get up out this John, I'm gonna break down the Mano situation and point out some of the things that he, some of the shots that he had to throw at 50 Cent, man. Yeah, man. And yeah, who Freeze, man? If you from New York, man, and you subscribe to this channel, who is Freeze, man? Is he from Queens? Is he from Brooklyn? Where you from, man? Where you from? Cause Mano said, didn't Freeze smack you when you didn't do jack about it? He said, Queens niggas love me, Curtis. Let's rap about it. Didn't Freeze smack you when you didn't do jack about it? Who is Freeze, man? Cause I'm saying 50 do come from that background, that image where you thought 50, man, that's 50, man. He bull, he strong, he after the video, after he got shot, then in the club joint, he ran on the treadmill, he working out and all that. People thought like, all right, he gangster, Andy Husky, he probably is situating people in real life. You feel me? Can y'all? What year was this? Can y'all picture 50 getting smacked and just saying, "Damn, why you do that?" Like, you know what I'm saying? Real rat, man. Where Papoose hear some of this, man? Where would he hear some of this? It's like everybody got haters, man. Who knows? Who probably reached out and said, I know something about him. I know something that that people don't know, or he put it together right though. He put it together right. Yo, another thing I'm noticing about this boy Pat, right? Yo, he loving the shine, right? He loving the shine, right? Yo, and this is crazy. Not to be messy, man. Not to be messy and be talking about certain stuff, but yo, since he got with Shorty, since he got with Clarissa, right? Ain't this like the most visible you ever seen this boy? You ain't seen this boy outside like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, when he was on 11 Hip Hop with Buddy, you was seeing him because he was on TV and like, you know what I mean? But now it's like, yo, the main man be everywhere, He with Shorty everywhere. Like he seemed like he just having fun and want to be outside and enjoying being outside. You feel me? Especially when it comes to hip hop, right? Shorty brings him attention, puts a spotlight on him, so anything he does have a spotlight. So when he started jumping back and playing with the music, whether it was little freestyles in the car, the spotlight was on him. So it's people that don't know that, yeah, like some years ago, he could rap. Yeah, he definitely could rap. People know Papoose. I mean, mixtape era. That's what I'm saying. Mixtape era, Pap got some shit that'll have you like, oh, all right, boy, definitely nice. You feel me? Like, shout out my man Ra that put me on to him. You know what I'm saying, back in the day and all that. But he ain't get he ain't get the spotlight that he should have had when back then when he was trying to pop off, when what I mean, when he was banging with Slay. He was killing the mixtape, but as far as mainstream, I mean, now you got the internet, viral, all this and all that. He ain't gotta go mainstream with a label. He going mainstream like on some internet type time. He get so him being in the algorithm right now with this diss track, that's mainstream for him. Like, you feel me? Real rap. So he enjoying the attention. He enjoying being able to spar with niggas lyrically, and they get enough attention, and it don't just be, you know what I'm saying, and it don't just go under the radar and all that. Kelly Bay, everything he said we already knew about 50. Yeah, like I ain't, you know what I mean? I ain't know none of this, man. Cause I don't be, you know what I'm saying? I don't be online trying to find tea on people. I just see things and be like, oh, all right, you know what I mean? Talk about it, yo, this true or not. You know what I'm saying? But that's crazy. So if everything he said you already knew about, what about Mano, right? Did you already know what Mano had to say? Who freeze? Who freeze then? Where freeze from in New York? You know what I'm saying? The bull freeze that Mano said didn't freeze smack you when you ain't do jack about it. Who is freeze and where he from? Somebody need to interview freeze. Yeah, somebody find freeze, man. Hopefully he ain't rest in peace and all that. The bull freeze still alive. Somebody interviewing. We need to see if there's some truth to this, to see if 50 ain't who we thought he was. Like, we thought 50 was big and bad. I mean, for real. That's another thing. Even the situation with gunplay, when they ran down on gunplay and 50 entourage, they tightened him up. Excuse me. 50 was there. 50 was right there. 50 ain't start catching wreck. 50 ain't put his hands on niggas or kick a nigga or nothing. He stood there and watched his entourage do work, which I understand that because that's what they there for. He don't need no lawsuits where a nigga can sue him personally, but don't be making it seem like you got a hands on program if you don't. The dude black road situation as well. The dude black when he stabbed 50. None of these entertainers are who we think they are. I mean, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that, man, because you got some in the industry that's exactly who we think they is. You know what I'm saying? But I agree, most probably, you know what I mean? That's probably the case, you know what I mean? All right, let me run down this Mano, these shots that Mano took before I get about this John, man. 49 minutes on this John. So look, Mano John, he dropped the John. It's 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 fire. It's fire, right? It's called Bleed Just Like Us. Bleed Like Us. On that John, like I said, he said, Queens niggas love me, Curtis. Let's rap about it. Didn't free smack you when you ain't do jack about it. He alluding to the fact somebody put hands on 50 Cent, man. Somebody tightened 50 up. Yeah, I mean, tuned him up and all that, and he ain't do nothing. Allegedly. Mano said getting rich wasn't enough. You still want to die? A little play off the album that he had, Get Rich or Die Trying. You feel me? He said you rich already. What you still trying? You mean unalive? Get under. You mean? It's just a lyric. You know what I'm saying? Um, and he said only white kids from the burbs thought you was gangster. He might be right about that. He might be right about that. know what I'm saying? He might be right about that, John. You feel me? I feel like kids in the hood probably bang with 50, but it ain't like we knew for sure he was gangster. Like you felt like you seen more gangsters shit going on in your neighborhood. Like, you feel me? So he might be right. When it comes to the G Unit brand, shoes, beaters, headbands, jeans, shirts, and all that, you seen, yeah, it ended up in the hood here and there, but for the most part, you definitely seen kids from the suburbs, white kids from the suburbs, rocking that, feeling like they was closer to hip hop because they had some G Unit sneakers. Mm, they had the G Unit headband and all that. Like, you know what I'm saying? So Mano might be right, man. He might be right about that for sure. But what y'all think, man? Hit the like button. If you ain't subscribed, subscribe. Get in the comment section, man. We sat in here. We talked about Mano diss track to 50 Cent. You know what I'm saying? Bleed Like Us. We talked about Papoose, his diss track. You know what I'm saying? Agent Provocateur. The shots that he took at 50. Everything he had to say. Mm. Some of the key shots he took was that picture, basically saying that when when 50 used to always say hashtag get the strap when he took a shot at somebody. Pat basically like every time you talk about get the strap, you talk about a strap on, allegedly. We talked about Redman dropped a new track with Sheik Luch. It's fire. It's called Dynamite. You should listen to it. Yeah, man. That's about it, man. They got some free Geechee merch going around right now. These T-shirts and all that. If you bang with him, I guess if you bang with him and shit, then I guess, go support the situation and all that. Yeah, I mean, the GoFundMe situation too, whatever they got set up for cuz. Yeah, man. What y'all think, man? What y'all think? Definitely get in the comment section, man. Let me know. I need to know. And definitely subscribe to the channel, man. If you came through this joint, you stopped past, subscribe to the channel, man. Let me know what y'all think, man. These bulls, man. Hip hop. Hip hop. Oh, rest in peace to Lord Sear, man. If you ever played Grand Theft Auto, you heard his name be called out. You mean if you was listening to the radio and all that when you played Grand Theft Auto 3. But yeah, man, hip hop, man, it's getting ugly, man. What's going on? What's going on, man? It's Fab, it's Jim Jones. Anybody gonna join the Is anybody gonna join the situation? Anybody from the Let's Rap About It podcast? What y'all think, man? I need y'all to get in the comment section, man. Even after this joint is over. Even after this joint is over, man. Need y'all to get in the comment section and tell me what y'all think. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me, man. I know it's late. I know it was late when I went live, but I appreciate it. You know what I mean? Like I said, if you got a comment on some of the topics, go ahead and leave it. Leave it in the comment section. You know what I mean? We about to have a MacBook. You know what I'm saying? So the content gonna get a little better and all that. You feel me? Yeah. So just keep rocking with me. Keep rocking with me. Subscribe to the channel and all that. Yeah. I personally feel like Papoose won this jump. Simple as that. And right under Papoose Mano diss track is fire. So tell me what y'all think though, man. Tell me what y'all think. I'm out this jump. Take from Let's Keep It Honorable TV. I'm rocking with you if you rocking with me. I'm out.